The American West is scattered with the decaying bones of dreams long dead. These are the ghost towns, once thriving boom towns now swallowed by silence, where dust settles in old saloons and wind whistles through broken windows. But once these places were alive, bustling with miners, gamblers, shopkeepers, and outlaws, all chasing gold, silver, and a piece of the American promise. It all began in 1848, when James Marshall discovered gold at Sutter's Mill in California. Word spread like wildfire, and soon the gold rush was underway. Within months, more than 300,000 people from around the world swarmed to the western frontier. As a result, towns like Bodie, California, sprang to life almost overnight. Bodie quickly exploded with energy. It had dozens of saloons, dance halls, opium dens, and a reputation so rough it gave rise to the phrase, "Goodbye, God, I'm going to Bodie." Just across state lines, Virginia City, Nevada, became another major boomtown after the discovery of the Comstock lode in 1859. At its peak, it was one of the richest silver strikes in American history and produced millions of dollars in ore. Virginia City gave birth to newspapers, banks, theaters. Even a young writer named Mark Twain got his start there. But as with all mining towns, the good times didn't last. Once the veins of ore were tapped out or too expensive to reach, the exodus began. Boom turned to bust. The same fate befell hundreds of towns across the American West. Rhyolite, Nevada, built in the early 1900s during a brief gold rush, had electricity, water mains, a hospital, and even an opera house. But it was dead within a decade, completely abandoned by 1916. Today, Rhyolite stands as a photogenic ruin, with skeletal buildings and one lone bottle house still standing. In Colorado, towns like St. Elmo, Independence, and Animas Forks experienced similar lifespans, born of mineral mania, then left to rot once the gold dried up. St. Elmo, tucked high in the Rockies, is among the best preserved ghost towns in America. Some claim it's haunted, and the general store still stands eerily intact, waiting for customers who will never return. Sometimes, a town's death had less to do with mining and more to do with bad luck. Calico, California, thrived on silver for years until a collapse in silver prices rendered mining unprofitable. Others, like Glen Rio, Texas, New Mexico, died when Route 66 was bypassed by the interstate highway system. Some towns were erased by fire, floods, or even volcanic eruptions, like Kennecott, Alaska, a copper mining town eventually abandoned to ice and time. These ghost towns weren't just about gold and silver. They were experiments in society, chaotic, dangerous, lawless, and often deeply segregated. Many had more saloons than churches. Brothels were often more successful than banks. Gunfights were regular forms of conflict resolution. In Tombstone, Arizona, the infamous gunfight at the OK Corral etched the town into legend. Though Tombstone never fully died like others, parts of it remain preserved like a set from a Western movie, and its ghosts still walk the tourist trail. Ghost towns represent a uniquely American story of overreach, rapid expansion, failure, and forgotten dreams. They remind us that progress has a cost and that chasing riches can sometimes leave you with nothing but ghosts. Yet, they also tell us something beautiful, that even in failure, we leave behind stories. Towns built on risk and grit, where people from around the world converged to dig their future out of the earth.